Hello everybody, so in this video I'm going to be showing my Doctor Who collection. This is my first Doctor Who related video. So I have quite a lot here, quite an extensive collection. So I'm going to go in chronological order. So first I have here, this is the Dalek collection. So this is the two movies with Peter Cushing as the Doctor, and you know, they're both fantastic. Love them. Quite underrated films, I think. You know, yeah, I love them. And then I have Lost in Time. So this is basically a collection of basically lost episodes from the William Hartnell and Patrick Troughton era. So, yeah, just pause if you want to read what's on there. But of course, since this DVD release, I mean, most of these stories have been, some of them have been found in their entirety, but some of them have been animated, because the original audio still exists, but they've animated the picture. So yeah, so this release is probably a bit, it's probably kind of worthless now, because all these stories are now getting released, you know, in their entirety. They're getting releases for the first time, but at the time this was, you know, this was pretty essential at the time, because I think this was the first time that you were getting some of these missing stories. Well, it's basically just the surviving episodes of the missing stories. But yeah, it's a good collection. And then I have Day of the Daleks, John Pertwee. Great story, love this one. I mean, out of the three John Pertwee Dalek stories, I think this is my favourite. Of course, after this you had Planet of the Daleks, you had Death to the Daleks. I love them as well, they're great, but this is probably my favourite of the three. And this one's actually really special. The two Doctors, so this has Colin Baker and Patrick Troughton in it, and this was actually signed by Colin Baker. I met him at a sci-fi convention in Birmingham in 2019, and yeah, he signed the DVD for me. So yeah, he's a very nice man when I met him. You know, it was a pleasure meeting him. And then I have the Davros collection. So this is basically all the stories that he appeared in. So on here you get Genesis of the Daleks and Destiny of the Daleks, which are the two Tom Baker Dalek stories. And you get Resurrection of the Daleks, which is Peter Davison, Revelation of the Daleks, which is Colin Baker, and then Remembrance of the Daleks with Sylvester McCoy. So yeah, great stories on here. I actually love Remembrance of the Daleks. That's probably one of my favourites. And then I do have the movie, or the TV movie, with Paul McGann as the Doctor. And of course, Sylvester McCoy does reprise his role as the Doctor at the beginning, but then he regenerates into Paul McGann. And yeah, this DVD is signed. This is signed by Sylvester McCoy, who I met him at a Doctor Who convention in Bedford, the same year as I met Colin Baker. It was a few months before the Birmingham convention, but yeah, there was a Doctor Who convention in Bedford, and yeah, I met Sylvester McCoy. He signed this for me, and he was such a great guy. A very nice man, very down to earth, and very, very funny as well. You know. I mean, what a guy. And he's actually one of my favourite Doctors. I know there are some Doctor Who fans who have a problem with his performance as the Doctor, but I've always loved Sylvester McCoy. He's always been one of my favourites. So that's the classic era. Now, I've got most of the modern era, so we've got Series 1, Christopher Eccleston. and this was my introduction to Doctor Who, 2005. So this is, so yeah, just fantastic stuff. You also get the Doctor Who Confidential on here as well, which is the making of. It's a pity they don't do Doctor Who Confidential anymore. Yeah, and then we got probably my favourite Doctor, David Tennant. So this is series 2. He was my favourite Doctor when I was a kid. This was the Doctor that I grew up with. Yeah, love David Tennant. Just, I mean, I love all the Doctors. I love them all, but David Tennant, though, no, he's the one that I relate to the most. And we have series 3. Great series. Well, they're all great, you know, from this era. I think they're all fantastic. And then we have series 4. It's the last series with David Tennant. But of course, after this, you would get he did 4 like feature-length specials after this, which basically ended his era. Still need to get the complete specials box set, which has those 4 in it. Yeah, I still need to get that. And then once I've got that, I'm complete on the David Tennant era. But yeah, great episodes on here. Great series. You know, a lot of nostalgia. You know, there's a lot of nostalgic, you know, history. A lot of fond memories of watching these. You know, I remember when these were on TV for the first time. I think when I first started. I mean, during the Christopher Eccleston era, I didn't like watch it every time it was on. I think I was only a casual fan at that time. It wasn't until 2007, that was the year that I became a huge fan. And then series 3 was halfway through at the time, so that was kind of an appropriate time to become a Doctor Who fan. You know, so I was watching series 3 and series 4. You know, just amazing. And they all do come with the Christmas specials as well. The series 2 box set does come with Christmas Invasion. The series 3 box set does include Runaway Bride, and the series 4 box set includes Voyage of the Damned. Yeah. So obviously, as I said, I don't have the complete specials box, which has the Next Doctor, the Planet of the Dead, Wars of Mars, and End of Time. But I will get that eventually. It shouldn't be difficult to find, because all of these they're quite easy to find, really. And we have series 5, the first with Matt Smith. It's got a nice 3D cover there. And I love Matt Smith. He's probably my second favourite Doctor. I will admit, at first I wasn't, you know, before the Matt Smith series started, I wasn't actually sure whether I was going to like him or not, but I think that was to do with the fact of how upset I was that David Tennant had left. Because, you know, I was heartbroken when he left. You know, he was my favourite, and I hoped that he would never leave the series. Part of me reckoned, just felt that he could stay on forever, but there was a part of me that knew that day would come. But I gave Matt Smith a chance, and wow, he's amazing. There's great episodes on here. And it does also include, actually no, it's the next one includes the special. And then I have the complete series 6. So yeah, this one includes the Christmas special. Is it Christmas Carol? Yeah, the 2010 Christmas special. It's the one that has that alien shark. It's a bit weird, but it's a fun episode. Yeah, I don't have Series 7, but I will get Series 7 eventually. And I do have the last 2 Matt Smith episodes. This is Day of the Doctor, the 50th anniversary special. And of course it's got David Tennant in it as well, so he reprises his role as the 10th Doctor, and you know, because he's my favourite Doctor, I was really pleased to see him return. And John Hurt, of course, plays the War Doctor, you know, the late great John Hurt. And then the last Matt Smith one is Time of the Doctor, 2013. That's nearly 10 years now. I can't believe it's been almost 10 years since Matt Smith left Doctor Who. It seems mad, isn't it? So yeah, it includes Time of the Doctor, but it also includes the other 4 specials with Matt Smith. It also does include Christmas Carol, The Doctor, The Widow, and The Wardrobe, and The Snowmen. So yeah, so I've got 2 Christmas Carols because it's also on the Series 6 box set. And then the last 3, I think they're on the series. Yeah, I think they're on the Series 7 box set, which I don't have yet. But yeah, good story. And I've only got 1 from the Peter Capaldi era. I've only got Series 8. This is at the point where I kind of stopped following Doctor Who. I've got nothing against Peter Capaldi's performance. Brilliant Doctor. I mean, he's not as good as Matt Smith, David Tennant, or Christopher Eccleston, but he was good. I think he was good. But I think this is where this, you know, in terms of the, you know, the storyline, it kind of started to go downhill from this era, you know, for me anyway. So yeah, I haven't actually bought any of the series after this. I probably will do eventually if I see them anywhere. I'll probably pick them up, you know, series 9 and 10. And I probably will get the Jodie Whittaker ones as well. And I really enjoyed Jodie Whittaker as the Doctor. I think, you know, I was actually impressed. I thought she was a lot better than Peter Capaldi. And, you know, I think just as good as David Tennant and Matt Smith, you know. And of course she's left now, and we do have a 60th anniversary special coming up this year, and David Tennant's returning once again. So yeah, looking forward to seeing that, you know, 'cause I love David Tennant. So yeah, really pleased to see him, and I think Catherine Tate's returning as well, and Bernard Cribbins is returning as well. But of course, he sadly passed away just last year. But I think he did finish, the filming was completed before he died. And I think some of the other Doctors are coming back. So I think Peter Davison, Sylvester McCoy are coming back, Paul McGann, Colin Baker. I don't know about Tom Baker though. It would be nice to see him return. I mean, we did see him in Day of the Doctor, but you know, he had like a cameo at the end as the curator. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the new Doctor as well. You know, he seems pretty cool actually. Because Russell T Davies, the guy who the writer of the series during the Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant era, he's back now. You know, he's now back as the writer. So I think now that he's back, I think, you know, I might start watching it again. I mean, I did watch the occasional Peter Capaldi episode and the occasional Jodie Whittaker episode, but you know, there were some good episodes. But I think ever since Matt Smith left, I think from then on, I think from the Matt Smith era, series 5 and 6 were great. Series 7, I think the first half of series 7 was great. The second half is where it started to go downhill a little bit, but yeah, that's just me. But there are some good episodes, so you know, I'm not knocking it altogether. And last thing I have here, I have it's not Doctor Who, but it's Torchwood, but you know, it's a spin-off of Doctor Who. You know, it's part of what's known as the Whoniverse, you know, the Doctor Who universe. So yeah, this is the complete series of Torchwood. So it has series 1 and 2, and also the 2 serials, Children of Earth and Miracle Day. And yeah, I love Torchwood. Great series. I wasn't actually allowed to watch this when I was a kid because it's more adult than Doctor Who. There's quite a lot of, it's quite violent, and there's a lot of swearing in it as well. Although I will admit, I mean, because obviously as a kid I had my own TV in my room, and Torchwood, yeah, whenever there was a new series, I would actually secretly watch it when it was on BBC Two. Because Doctor Who was always on BBC One, Torchwood was on BBC Two, I think. But yeah, I would secretly watch it. I remember 2008 when I think Series 2 was on. I did watch the series. I shouldn't have done, but obviously, you know, because I was too young. But yeah, kids do that. You know, they secretly watch films and TV shows that they're not really supposed to watch. But yeah, I love Torchwood. Great series. I mean, yeah, I think because there've been other Doctor Who spin-offs. You know, you've got the Sarah Jane Adventures, which I did have the first series of that, but I liked it. But I might collect them again. Who knows? I might do. I'm not saying I will. I'm saying I might. You've also got Probe, which was a straight-to-video spin-off series during the 90s. And then there's one called Class, which I've not seen. Apparently it's not very good, so I've heard, but I will watch it to have my own opinion. But yeah, I think out of all the Doctor Who spin-offs, Torchwood is the best, in my opinion. I mean, it's great as a Doctor Who spin-off, but it's also just a great show in its own right. So yeah, this is a fantastic set, worth every penny. If you don't have this already, I highly recommend picking it up if you're a fan of Torchwood or the Whoniverse or whatnot. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you again in my next video. Take care.